hear about it is terrible and hilarious. So I'm just going to read that. 10 subs gets you 10. Thank you very much, Empirical Woodland. And that's the end of that music. Before it loops a third time, let's go over here to the game. This is not the game. This is the preloading thing with like the GameCube menu, because I'm gonna hit go, and like this game does not mess around. This thing just loads. It's amazing. Oh, but that's 5 more tier. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go past the goldfish teeth. If you count what I actually moved my sub to, it's technically 3 subs, not 1, so 14. Will Twitch count that as 14 subs? Because if Twitch does, I will. 1, 2. There we go. 14. I got 14 on my little tally sheet over here. I'm not going to keep going back to the checklist. We'll do that on and off as I go through my streams. I have been live for 10 minutes now, and I have not done any gameplay. I've just sat here talking and taking your money, which is great. Thank you very much for that. Let's let's push start and begin this game. This is a horror game. On Mondays, we play horror games. So I know there are some viewers who aren't keen on that. I'm looking at you, oh Wales. So thank you very much for lurking. I understand if you want to go and play with Orange Boy instead of watching me do horror games. Are you ready? I'm going to push start now. There you go.
Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting.
Dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. I love The Raven, by the way. Good poem. So, yeah, it's a horror game. And it's the rare first-party Nintendo horror game. Amazing, right? Why is the logo blue? Because it's blue in Japan. Literally, there is no other reason for that.
You too will come to understand fear as I have.
Oh god, Silicon Knights! That is pretty terrifying. That is the font Serpentine. That's a very 2002 font. Which is also pretty terrifying if you come to think about it. This is something I do in real life as well. If you've ever hung out with me, I have a habit of just going, oh, that font is Cambria. And I just do that. And at one point, one of my friends turns and says, that is the most autistic thing I've ever heard you do. And he's not wrong. But also, like, was it necessary to say it? I don't know. I should also point out, the game is actually going to be full screen. This big black border is just because we had to, like, squish the video down to fit on this tiny, tiny GameCube disc. It's kind of like Myst, if you ever played Myst. All these videos in, like, 100 by 200 pixel squares on tiny sheets of paper. Because there's a lot of them, and not a lot of space on the disc. And then most of those videos were static anyway, and that just makes the file size really, really big. Myst is an okay game. It's terribly confusing. Like, it's pretty good when you're able to find a puzzle thread and start pulling at it and unravel something, but then you get to, like, I don't know what I have to do next, and you just bash your head against the wall. It's not great. Also, check this out! I'm playing the game in widescreen, like for the first time ever. This is what it usually looks like, and what I'm used to it looking like. Nope, I got a big TV now, so I can play it in widescreen. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Pretty sure I just begin the game. So yes, I have previously completed the game with these sanity alignments. And yes, I would like to carry that over to my new game. I'm so happy that
Flesh,
I have my old
bone,
memory card from like when I
bound
played this
together with
game
the
ages ago.
oddest magical incantation. This wretched book is where it all began so long ago. Before time, before humanity. I am Dr. Edward Roivas.
Is there really such a thing
I
as
am a
before
clinical
time?
psychologist. I am also dead. This is not my story, nor even the story of the Roivas family. It is the story of humanity. Like it or not, believe it or not, as you will. Your perceptions will not change reality, but simply color it. Humanity has been on the edge of extinction for 2 millennia, ignorant of so much and dependent on so few. The Guardians grow restless. Their time once again near. Whether by fate or misfortune, my family has crossed their path, and they didn't take kindly to it. Their attention turns to my granddaughter, for she is the last of my line, and the last hope for humanity.
Yeah, you've had a lot of people in the house, and it's kind of overwhelming, especially when they bring kids. What are my commands? Alright, that's that. That's that. That's that. Kind of like Fatal Frame. Don't worry about the color scheme. It will eventually fade to color. I'm a big fan of games that just begin in one tone and then change to another.
Remember me, Alex?
Sentinel 6, hello. Thank you very much for your lurk. It is appreciated. Enjoy your emotes and your penguin badge.
Hello.
Miss Alexandra Roivas?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Inspector LaGrasse of the Rhode Island Police. I'm sorry to disturb you, but there's been an accident with your grandfather.
I'll be on the next flight out.
Inspector LaGrasse is a pretty invocative name. That's from the Call of Cthulhu, don't you know? And what a coincidence, this game takes place in Rhode Island.
Ah, Miss Roivas, I'm pleased to meet you. I trust you had a pleasant trip?
Yes, I suppose so, considering.
Yes, my condolences. This is most unpleasant. It's a shame we couldn't meet under brighter circumstances.
Yes, it is. Can we get this over with, please?
Of course, this way. But I must warn you, it's not a pleasant sight.
I always took that to be he was kind of hitting on her and she's like, yeah, whatever.
I'm afraid there's not much to see. Miss Roivas, is that your grandfather, Edward?
Yes, it's him. He's wearing our family ring. I don't understand. Why are you showing me this? Can't you check dental records or something? What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It's my job, lady. You're the only living relative, and no, we can't check dental records. There's no head. None of this makes sense. There's no sign of intrusion, and there was certainly a lot of force used here. I have never seen anything like this in my 20 years on the force. We have no evidence except for the body, and what's left doesn't say much. Ugh, we don't have a single clue.
Could they not have checked the
You
fingerprints?
better find out who did this.
I don't know.
I'm not leaving Rhode Island until you do. There must be some clue in this old mansion revealing what happened. I want answers.
So do I. I wish I had some.
And we're back in the game. Shocked by her grandfather's mysterious death and frustrated at the incompetence of the local police, Alex vows to uncover the truth. She decides to search the mansion, the place where Edward conducted his research. If there was a tie to his past, and possibly a tie to his murderer, it would be here. And that's about all the setup we get. We're just in this mansion, and we just have to explore it and find what's going on. I'm relatively confident I remember where I have to go. Don't worry if I just beeline to the next location, because you do have to explore the whole place as part of the game. It's actually really cleverly done the way it happens. A slight draft can be felt issuing from beneath the bookshelf, almost as though a vent or empty space is behind it. This looming grandfather clock seems to stand ominously in the corner, gazing upon this empty room with an almost patriarchal air. Use these buttons to adjust the clock hands. Yes. I forget what the time was. It was whatever time was on the clock when we were woken up, I believe. I'm also fairly sure you can't just spin to win. You have to work it out. That'd be far too easy. Well, let's find out. Ooh, run button. Always good to have. I remember there being a clock in the entrance. Maybe that's it. Beautiful carriage clock. The hands appear to be stuck, yet the clock continues to tick. The time permanently set to 3:33. There is a key in the back of the clock, presumably for winding it. Let's look at the key. 1 second. 1 second. Sneeze. Hi. Alex picks up the desk clock and pulls the key from it. However, there is something odd about the key. It isn't for winding it at all. It looks like a dresser key. Oh, I love that sound design so much. So this is one of those games that I haven't played since I was in college, I want to say. I haven't played it for a very long time. And now that I am here, there's a lot of bits that I'm suddenly remembering. And like, yes. Right! Hello! How are you? 2, 3, 30. 3:33, there you go. So, Reich, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. Doing good. How am I doing? I'm doing great because I get to play Eternal Darkness today. This game is fantastic. It's like pretty good 2000s horror and not necessarily made by Nintendo because there's a lot of backstory right there, which we'll get into as we go through the game. But I'm happy to be here doing this. A large leather-bound antique book rests upon the cluttered desk. Should Alex read the book? Nothing can possibly go wrong with reading this book.
no knowledge of what was to come, nor did I care. How the knowledge changed me, it will also change you. As you read this, you will come to learn fear as I have.
Oh, he said the line!
You too will come to understand, or you will perish. To think that once I could not see beyond the veil of our reality. To see those who dwell behind. My life now has purpose, for I have learned the frailty of flesh and bone. I was once a fool.
They do something pretty cool here. Take a listen.
Viris conservandi. Facusatis aquae sumat, et animus eorum conferma. Pupna huis, dia sit modo prima multarum, si inceptum conficiamus.
Quam primum, Centurio Augustus. I would like to compliment you once more on your battle tactics. Our enemies did not have a chance. Do you believe that it really exists, Centurion?
I do not doubt our Emperor's beliefs, or his orders. But if we are to retrieve the artifact, then we must be strong and patient.
So I like the idea that these guys are speaking Latin. But you are hearing it in a neutral language American because that's just how you are perceiving it. That's really clever. Hey, I recognize this from that intro video. Better be nothing spooky going on over here. The dais on this floor is finely crafted, inlaid with gold and gems that Pius can't identify. A strong linear design is situated in the middle, and is equally unknown to the Roman soldier. Some pretty good writing in this game as well. And I've just remembered one specific phrase, which came up a lot in a channel that Let's Played this. A ladder leads into the dank heart of the labyrinth. Danger lurks beneath, yet Pius' courageous resolve does not buckle. Should Pius climb down the ladder? Yes. I like to think that this is, like, relevant to the themes of the game, the illusion of choice. Like, we have to come down this ladder, or there is no game. Alright, let's go get this zombie guy. I don't necessarily enjoy but thou must choices. It works within the context of the game. So like to go back to a game we've mentioned before, Killer 7, the whole point of that game is that it's on rails, even though it isn't, but it is. And that's to do with the idea that your character thinks he has his own free will and his own choice, but actually he doesn't. He's being manipulated behind the scenes by Redacted. And I like it like that, but thou must, that's kind of annoying. A strange granite block lies on the floor. So let's take it. I also like but thou must choices, where there is some goofy reward for taking the wrong decision. One of my favorites is this one of the Paper Mario games, where it's like, hey Mario, do you want to go on the quest? And if you say no, then Mario just goes home to bed. And you get the credits. And it's like a non-standard game over, but you can just choose not to do the quest, and it's great. A strange granite block rests on the platform. Let's take it. I love that lightning bolt vanishing thing. You can play Killer 7 if you want. You don't have to like it. I think you will, because it's kind of bonkers. To the point that there's... Actually, no. That would be a spoiler, and if you're looking at playing it, I don't want to do that. Oh. Health meter. This meter represents life energy. Every time a character takes damage, the level will get lower. When it reaches 0, the character will die. Use. This function allows the manipulation of inventory items within the current room. Equip lets you equip a weapon. Check lets you examine an item. And then the shoulder buttons let you switch back and forth between pages of the book. So we have a map. We have... Oh! We've got the cinema, because I've completed everything in the game. So here's everything. We've got this, which is an autopsy report of every monster in the game, because I've played this game a lot. Saving and loading, and then back to the main menu. Get out of here. Yeah, I've heard about that with the Far Cry games as well. The, you go to a foreign country to spread your father's ashes or something, and the person whose permission you need gets distracted at the start of the game, and if you wait, he comes back and lets you do it. And having completed your mission, you leave. I like that. That's pretty clever. Just robs the player of gameplay, but I like that you have the option to do that, you know? Which one? Far Cry 4 was your the cult leader in the magnificent plum suit, right? Only Far Cry game I've played is Blood Dragon, and I don't think that counts. It's absolutely fantastic, but I don't think it counts as part of the mainline series. I like it, though. I like when a series is able to just... Or that a series was able to just do something goofy and completely off the rails compared to what it normally does. Big fan. Combat is not this game's strong suit. The Gladius here has got a pretty neat 3-hit combo. Mostly just mash the button. It's also pretty good for removing body parts. This will come in useful later. After the point where the game tutorializes it, and you are supposed to know about it. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this right now. The locational damage is also pretty cool as well. Like, if you remove the head, the enemies can't see you. If you remove their arms, they can't attack you. It's pretty cool. get up here? Hey, it's that symbol again. I remember you from the start of this game. Alright, what are you? Blue. So we've seen these runes on the blocks that we've been picking up. There are spaces for blocks to go, fairly intuitively. You're going to want to put the blocks in the reliefs. You green? Yes, green. Tell you a fun story though. I do not have any tattoos, but I've considered it. And the tattoos that I've considered are the 4 runes that are on the wall up here. Maybe like 2 on each forearm. That's what I'm thinking about. And I've been sort of turning it around for a while. And we'll come to see why as we go through the game. But look at them. They're like pretty simplistic but very striking designs. I like them. And it's how much I like this game as well that is something I have considered doing. Oh. You must prove your worth by destroying this statue. Yes, this is how we learn how to target and do locational damage. So, right trigger is to target, and then it's like up, down, left, right to attack the body, or the head, or the arms. There we go. Not particularly important right now because it's the very start of the game, but as we go on. These guys are bigger than before, aren't they? At the very least, that guy on the left is. Man, I mentioned the sound design earlier. Genuinely, I'm loving how nostalgic this feels. Like, just the wet, slurpy noises that the zombies make, and the very minimal music in this temple-looking place. It's great. What do you do? A button attached to a small pylon softly illuminates the room. A bizarre energy seems to radiate from it. Should Pius push the button? Yes. I don't think there is ever a point when you're presented with something like that, and the correct answer is no. The correct answer is always yes, you should push the button, or use the ladder, etc. Okay. Hopefully chat feels invested enough to give me an answer to this one. I'm gonna have to pick one of these, red, blue, or green. Does anybody have any preference which we go for? A strange sculpture resembling a red clawed worm mysteriously floats above the pedestal. We've got... shaped like a delicate dome, a pale blue statuette floats gracefully above the pedestal. Or... an effigy resembling a warped angel, shaped from dark green emerald, hovers effortlessly above the pedestal. No, there we go. So the way it goes is, the first time you play the game, you pick one of them, you play through the game, cool. If you load the game, that item is missing from this room, so you have to pick one of the other two. And then the third time you play the game, you have to pick the remaining one. In this instance, because I have got a complete save on the memory card, I can choose any one of the 3. And we can run a poll, but people seem oddly quiet on this one. Maybe they're leaving it up to me. I know which one I would want to pick. Can I vote? Oh, I didn't vote, but someone has made a vote. It's a good vote. Incidentally, this one right here, this is something that a character I designed had a tattoo of. It was a very 2000s tattoo. There's actually no difference necessarily to which one we get. They are all... You'll get the same gameplay start to finish, pretty much. It's just the order in which events unfold. And it's actually a really clever look into the way that they designed the game, which I kind of suspect is not part of Silicon Knight's involvement with this game. Because while I look at that poll right there, time to tell this story. So Silicon Knights began developing this game for the N64 in 1999, and it was going to be one of a trilogy. It isn't. You may have noticed. And there's a lot of cut content in this game because they had to truncate it a lot. We'll get to that when we get to it. And basically what happened was, somebody from Nintendo, the stories go, it was Shigeru Miyamoto. I don't know if I believe that. Somebody from Nintendo went to speak to Silicon Knights in their offices, and they saw what was happening, and they went, oh no. Oh no. And from then, Nintendo essentially took over the reins, and they finished development on the game. And that's one of the reasons why it has as much polish and attention to detail as it does, is because essentially Nintendo took a half-finished prototype and just built it. And kind of sad that that's happened. Not surprised that that's happened. If anybody knows what Silicon Knights went on to do, the Two Human, air quotes, trilogy on Xbox 360, which runs like a bag of bricks and failed after the first one. A friend of mine's playing that. He tells me it's not very good. Alright, poll is almost up. What color are we going to choose? It's going to be... Now, will this show up in the chat? No, it won't. Well, the answer is blue, with half of the votes. Technically, an extra vote, because I was going to pick blue. So let's get the blue one. Hey, it's those runes again. On the pillars, do you see them? I saw them.
Eons have passed since then, and I have learned much. All at once, I understood. The forces of the multiverse all made sense under the transcending power of Ulyath. No mountain too high, no city too far.
No, we went blue.
Me,
This is the blue one.
and you shall surely perish.
Green goes by the name of Zelototh, but we got the blue one. We also got the Tome of Eternal Darkness, which is a brilliantly foreboding name. Anyway, let's... What are you? Second floor key. Okay, let's save the game. This is from a Let's Play that I was gonna do, and I started recording like 10 years ago, and I never finished it. Anyway, it was probably because of that one boss. You know the one if you played the game. Strangely, with the Tome of Eternal Darkness in her possession, Alex can read the page. It is a chapter page from the tome itself. Alex has found a chapter page entitled The Binding of the Corpse God. So this is the central gameplay loop, which is actually pretty cool. I also like how the game does that. You hear that? The pages talk to you. I really like that. So, central gameplay loop is Alex finds a page in the book, and then we read it, and then we sort of take it from there until we find the next one.
Beginning, nor am I sure of its end. So perhaps here is the best place to start. I am reminded of ideas I first encountered in Sir James George Fraser's book, The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. We are overwhelmed by a very human need to weave a web of meaning where there may be none. Since time immemorial, ancient peoples have dressed up their lack of knowledge as gods and demons. I have discovered that sometimes the fates of gods and mortals intertwine, and legends are born.
Thy time is done, great ancient. Forever in shadow will you be master of chaos, and to fade to nothing in obscurity will be thy fate. My master has planned many millennia for this day. It is the true chaos of all things that you now must be entombed amongst the beings of flesh and bone.
You have a great monument here, Mantarok. It is a pity that no one will ever recognize it as yours. May the darkness claim thee, crawling chaos and damned beast. No longer will thy reign be kept over the ancients you have kept imprisoned. Thou hast seen the last of this world.
So this is like a very Lovecraftian game. We've met a character named after someone from Lovecraft, and this is a very Lovecraftian horror. What is it? It's a pile of bits and eyes and teeth, and I can't reasonably describe it. It's just horrifying.
Fables can keep me amused. There has to be something to do around here. I only wish something that fantastic and of higher purpose could happen to me.
So this is our next character. And I wonder if the game will show me this, actually. Yes, it will. So this is something I really, really like. Every character has a different stat set. So you saw that the Centurion had a fairly substantial health bar. This woman does not. And that will be basically the same for every character that we encounter throughout this game. A triangular design is carved into the floor. The etched grooves are filled with colored sand. These symbols appear to be related to each other, with one having precedence over another. Stand over there. This will become very important as we go on. Can I take a good look at it? There you go. That will be important later on. A statue of a goddess delicately sculpted from sandstone. It casts an alert eye over everyone who enters the temple. There is a strange necklace about its neck. That's something else I like about this game, is that every portion of the game, every place that you go to, every time period has its own sound set. Like, we've got a deep throat singing noise for when we pick up an item, whereas in the temple prior it was the almost like a sitar. I like that. This necklace can be used to heal Elia. Make sure Elia does not move while the spell is being cast. That's super important. I'm also relatively confident I am now stuck in this room. Well, let's go to the other side then. This'll be fine. I'm already filled with dread for this area because I kind of know what's coming. Engraved on the floor is a striking design featuring the sun sinking below the edge of the world. The design on the wall appears to depict a time of day. Perhaps the candles do too. Yeah, this is the thing that I was kind of worried about with this game. There's like Prince of Persia traps. Check it out. And yeah, because Ellie is not super strong, she's likely to get hit a lot. These ones are on a timer though, so you can just be like 1, 2, go, and get hit anyway. Seriously, I'm a drummer. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Can I sneak past this one? Yes, I can. So, like, obviously you can see the pressure plates. And then these traps only activate when we step on them. So if you can sneak past them, that's fine. When located by creatures, a sanity loss occurs, causing a decrease in the levels of sanity meter and the character to pulse green. Beware, sanity loss affects perception and eventually health. Oh, there it is. This, much like the red one represents your health, the green one represents your sanity. And I believe the game will tutorialize this now. But, yes, performing a finishing move on a creature recovers sanity. Essentially the idea that you're seeing these horrible things, but they can be defeated. Kind of gives you hope, gives you a bit of strength, and the mental fortitude to continue on. A bronze necklace sits atop an ancient clay urn. So let's just take it. Seems like a protagonist thing to do. Oh, and this one kind of relates to what we've seen before. Basically, you have to light the candle where the sun is, and that will open the door, allowing you to go forwards. Or not, because that door is stuck. But what we can do is we can go back to the entrance and place the necklace on the little statue that we found, which will hopefully unlock it. Not gonna lie, I'm very surprised that I was able to go through that corridor unharmed. I believe as well that when you do your finishing animation, you're locked into it, and you've got your iframes going on, so you can't be stunned out of that. So that's great. Is that just examining the floor again? Yes, it is. Okay. Away we go. Making very sure to use the right one there and not the healing necklace. Let's put that over there and reopen this door. And continue on. I do kind of relate to what she was saying at the start of the game, though. Well, the start of her chapter, anyhow. I also would like to just go on an adventure at some point. And be like the chosen one to some purpose. I don't know. Engraved on the floor is a striking design featuring the sun rising above the edge of the world. This one, you can see these little holes on the wall. This one is a blow dart trap. And you're going to want to avoid those, because they're a lot harder to dodge than the spinning blades. That one doesn't count, because I was already at the edge of the thing. Oh, okay, maybe that's why it didn't open, because I had only half solved the puzzle. There we go. And now we've completed a loop, which will serve some purpose. I forget what it is. Let's go find out. It's kind of hard for me to see the pressure plates, because this game is a little dark. Almost like it's part of the game's title, I don't know. But, oh, yeah, there you go. A small pedestal covered with decorative etchings stands before the wall. The blowgun upon it must have some special significance for it to be the focal point of this display. Well, I'm going to take it. And immediately regret my decision. We got the hero landing, though, so that's pretty cool.
A secret passage in the temple.
Okay, so this is how we know that we picked the blue rune at the start. Let's just pick up this broken sword. Wink. That game series was fine. This is how we know that we picked the blue rune at the start of the game, because these guys are blue. You saw we had already fought a red zombie and a green one elsewhere in the dungeon. Whatever color these ones are, let's get away from that. Whatever color these ones are, that's the color of the rune that we picked. Take some of my health, that's fine. Hello, sir, or madam, how are you? The guard is grateful for Elia saving his life. In return, he offers to repair Elia's broken weapon, as a gesture of thanks. Yes! Please repair that sword. Let's never use the blowgun again. So the manner in which we are performing these actions, I really wish I hadn't stepped on that platform, because look at this. Look at this! Actually, it's fine. The manner in which we are repairing items and healing ourselves, that's very important and will become a little more relevant as we go through the game. I believe the end of this chapter or the start of the next one. Something else I like with this character as well is that she doesn't have a particularly high sanity gauge, because she's had no preparation for this. She's just randomly fallen into a hole and now she's in a dungeon, I guess. She's not used to it. There is a hole in the device, as though something can be inserted. Perhaps a key or a lever. I forget what. We'll find out. Is this where I came from? That one's hardly fair. You have to step on that one. And that one. But I think that one's just the blow darts turning on the other way. Oh, jeez. I thought that was the exit. Sure showed me. That one's the exit. There we go. This is also something pretty cool. This game has infighting! Have I told you guys how much I love infighting in video games? I'm just gonna get away from that because I'm pretty sure they go with a bit of a bang. I'm also gonna claim that. Yeah, get some of that sanity back. So yes, there is infighting between the monsters, and that's pretty great. And the reasoning why will become clear, again, as we go on. This mural depicts one of the ancient Khmer deities being tortured and killed by a skeletal demon. Where have we seen that before? I do wonder. Is it? Pretty sure that's the way I came in. Let's go this way. Yes, I'm exceptionally good at navigating in 3D space, by the way, so don't even worry about it. Everything's fine. And hey, speaking of a ancient Khmer deity being imprisoned by a skeleton, we appear to have found it.
Stop. Don't go near it.
Oh, Wales has redeemed Deluxe Nothing.
So, you are reduced.
Please enjoy your Deluxe Nothing.
How the mighty have fallen.
This is not that. This is character development.
Surely fester for millennia to come. A slow and torturous fate for thee. You had best leave, young fool, or you will find yourself as food for the dead god.
You are one of the chosen many. Flesh and blood. It is now your destiny to fight the eternal darkness.
He said the name of the game!
I give you a gift in return for an obligation. The gift is your life, sweet dancer. The obligation is this. You hold one of Mantarok's hearts. The essence of the corpse god. The summit is a source of great power. From those people, you must defend it, lest they use it to destroy what little brightness your world has left in it. Guard it well.
What? Hello to Carly and Mrs. O. Wales. Hope everybody's doing well. Glad to have you here. So here's a fun little piece of trivia for you. The shaman who just showed up and handed the heart to us, there's no real reason for him to have been there or to have that. And the game doesn't actually explain who he is or how he got it or why he gave it to us. And that is something that was going to be explained either in this game or in a subsequent game, but the budget ran out. And then they ran out of time. And given the general state of development of this game, Nintendo figured you don't get to make the other two. So this is just the questions forever unanswered. Come on. So one of the reasons why I was going to pick blue, and I'm glad that we did pick blue, blue is essentially not easy mode, medium mode, excuse me. Red is hard mode, because all the zombies are exceptionally strong. Green is easy mode, because all the enemies are exceptionally weak, but you have to deal with sanity fairly consistently. Blue is a nice middle ground between the two. Oh, and that is like the worst place for that fight. Oh, and you heard it off camera, but the traps can interact with the enemies, or rather the enemies can interact with the traps, because that guy activated this crusher trap and got caught in it, so that's what you get. I'm guessing this one also got hit with one of these big blades. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Yeah! Okay. Oh, how's that? Zombies can grab you from behind. I didn't think I would have to tutorialize that, because I forgot they could do that. Do I have time enough to heal? Not in this room, so give me just 1 second while I shuffle along over here. And then I do a bit of that. And again. And again. There we go. Alright, now I'm a little better prepared for fighting these guys. Especially if they're just going to detonate. This is fine. In the early game, those guys can be kind of dangerous, because the big shockwave, I believe, is designed to target magic, but we don't have magic, so it just goes for the health instead. And that's not cool. But that seems to be the way in the games that I play. You know, they start off a little harder than you might think, but then they get easier when you get a few more abilities. Alright, let's go back through that mysterious door we just found. There is a particular trap in this temple, and I've just remembered what it is. And I don't remember where it is. And I thought it was in this corridor. Evidently, I am wrong. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine. There we go. Me? Why would you look at me with fully consenting butt touches? That's not like a foundational key in this relationship. Try it, viewers. It's a lot of fun. Butt touches are great. Can I look at this thing? Hi. How you doing? No, I can't look at that. It's just here. Being unfathomable. That's fine. Alright. What's in here?
Fool! You should have run. Instead, you will die. Where is the essence of Mantarok? again, child. Very well, then. You will succumb to the horrors of oblivion.
Empirical Woodland, no, it is done with the hand. The best way. You just go for it. Where people consent, of course. I feel like this clip is one of the most N64 looking clips. When Alex looks up from the book. You're going to be seeing that quite a lot. Oh, and somebody has redeemed show and tell. And what a good time to do it. So let's stand by this puzzle and, I don't know, try and work out how to solve that. And in the meantime, go over here to my show and tell screen. You ready? Let's go. Today's show and tell is... Okay, this is... this is a Shiba Inu, little bobblehead. And it is a McDonald's Happy Meal toy from Japan. So, one time when my friends and I visited Osaka, we went to a McDonald's because we figured, you know what? It's McDonald's, but we're in another country on the other side of the world. You might as well, right? Very good idea. I had a chicken McTeriyaki. Chef's kiss. Brilliant is what it was. And a matcha red bean McFlurry. Yes. Anyway, I saw this on the Happy Meal toy menu. And so I went down to the counter and I asked for the dog. And I was told that you can only have it as part of a meal. Because I was of the understanding that you can, like, buy Happy Meal toys. Because that's how we've always done it here in England. Right? Or at least my part of England. It's whatever, like £2 for the meal, £1 for the toy is how it used to be, and then obviously that price has gone up. But no, apparently you have to buy it as part of the set. So I'm like, oh, okay, give me 1 second. And then I had to pick my way through the kids menu in Japanese and order everything in Japanese. And I'm kind of proud that I was able to do it. And I got myself this little Shiba Inu toy. And it sits with the rest of my stuff and reminds me of that time when we went to McDonald's in Japan. We actually went to McDonald's twice. The other time was when we went to the sumo tournament. And this is when I was sitting there having a McDonald's meal with 2 sumo wrestlers who were about to perform. And I'm like, what is this country? This is amazing. But that was for another time. Empirical Woodland says that it used to be the case in the 90s where you could buy a toy separately, but now you have to get the meal or no toy. Yeah, apparently that is the case. I didn't know if that was just, like, my local manager of McDonald's being on the take or something like that. But no, if that rule has since changed, then cool, I get it. But this is today's show and tell. A very proud looking Shiba Inu from Japan. The corresponding toy actually is the top half of the kennel with a little cat. And I think the cat was just a statue. I forget, it was a while ago. But yes, I got myself a little sheep, and I'm really happy with it. Go back to the game. Empirical Woodland says you should always do fast food in a foreign country just to see what they have. You are correct, sir. We did... Well, a lot of the stuff we had was fast food as well as restaurant food. But we figured McDonald's is something that we know, but it's going to be different enough because it's on the other side of the world. And then at one point, we just went to Hard Rock Cafe because we went, do you know what? This is the end of our 3rd week in this country. I just want something that's full of, like, fat and grease and salt. I'm just going to go get a cheeseburger. And we did. And it was really, really nice. So what do we have here? A small shrine of candles. Their placement appears to be very deliberate, corresponding to etchings on the table and an illustration upon the wall. Some of the candles have been lit. Do you know what? I'm glad you like show and tell. I've mentioned in the past I was a little worried about it as a segment, but people have reacted very positively to it, along with some of the games that I've been playing, particularly the horror ones, which is quite nice. I have a friend who is waiting for me to upload this VOD. Hello. How you doing? I hope it was worth the wait. So, what we have to do with this one is bring some knowledge of the previous chapter out into our world and utilize it in some way. So in this case, we need to look at the picture of the sun on the wall there. Extinguish the candle so that the candle matches the sun, and this will solve the puzzle. With the correct sequence of candles being lit, a hidden panel opens. There is a message tube inside. Ooh, can I just take this? An ancient Roman weapon, a gladius, is on display above the fireplace mantle. Another token of eclectic junk. I'm taking that. Give me that. Yeah. An antique leather-bound message tube, the kind used to transport sealed message scrolls. It appears to be unopened. There might be something inside. And indeed there is a chapter page entitled Suspicions of Conspiracy. Oh, that's why that's in there. We'll see why that's in there in a second.
Thy presence is long missed, my liege.
The universe is a yawning chasm, filled with emptiness and the puerile meanderings of sentience. Why should you deserve special consideration within it, Augustus, above all else?
I am your servant, my lord. As always. That and nothing more.
Yes, that and nothing more. What revelations do you bring me?
My meditations reveal a flaw in our plan.
Our plan, Augustus? Mantarok is a shadow ebbing in the light of our glory. It and the others are slow, weak, bound by the realm of the universe. Unable to unite to fight a common foe, they will fall one by one. Unfortunately, this is beyond your understanding. The binding of Mantarok will seal their fate as its power over us is diminished. Such an irony that the Keeper itself be imprisoned within the walls of its own magic.
But what of its essence? Is that not the core of its remaining power?
Upon my seeping into the corporeal world, I will be the dominant over all, Mantarok included. Your worries are unfounded.
Sure hope that traffic incident didn't pick up on the microphone.
Charlemagne the Frank. His continued presence within the world is far more serious to our cause.
As you wish, Master. He will be dead before the week is out.
That's another indication of which of the essences we had picked up. It shows you which elder god Pius is talking to. It's also pretty well written that any combination has its own video relating to every other. I like that. And each elder god has its own speaking style. My favorite is the green one, who refers to herself in first and third person, singular and plural. She just alternates. She's great.
From my research, it is apparent that the endeavors of mankind are mere puppetry at the hands of the ancients. Whenever a king vows reform, the ancients move quickly to stifle it. Under the auspices of Emperor Charlemagne the Frank, the new Holy Roman Empire was at the height of its power.
I could believe that Brexit is the work of some elder god.
Hanc mit ad dominum et imperatorum nostrum, carolum magnum francum, Deliver this to our Lord and Emperor Charlemagne the Frank. No one but him must see it. They are words for his eyes only. At once.
What sorcery is this? A spell? I am bewitched. If this was meant for Charlemagne, then what will become of him? I have to warn him of this treachery.
That's a pretty good establishing shot. I like that, going through the archways. It's really cool. Very well done, game. Hello. After Anthony briefly describes his mission, the monk informs him that Charlemagne was last seen in audience with the bishop in the visiting chamber. It's the bishop! It's one of my favorite Monty Python bits. Muffled voices emanate from inside the bishop's visiting chamber. However, the door is locked, and Anthony will need the bishop's key to enter and gain an audience with Charlemagne. Actually, I seem to recall... Yeah, a funeral casket made from unfinished wood. It is not properly sealed and could probably be opened. There is no reason for me to do this, like character-wise, but sure, let's go!
Oh my God, what is it? This devil's work. We should get out of here.
You have proven what we have feared the most. This poor man has been the victim of great evil. Look how his body has been defiled, as if something has burst out from inside him. Here, take this for your protection. And find the bishop. He must be informed of this horrible discovery.
Give me a second to parse this word. I've never been very good at it. Askramasax. Let's hope I got that right. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to get corrected in my gaming group chat in like 2 days when I upload this and make it public if I got it wrong. Because I have a history guy in our friend group, and he's great. Very much loves history, but like... If I pronounce a place name wrong or I just say something incorrect, I will be told. Which is good. I would sooner be, like, gently corrected than just outright told that I have done wrong. All left to be incorrect. Hi! Surprisingly, Empirical Woodland, I do not refer to you currently. I like this floor. Look at this floor. That's really cool, but also nightmarish. Cradled in what appears to be a leathery hand lies a mysterious book. It is bound in human skin and intricately decorated with shrunken bones. It beckons and yearns to be possessed. Give me that tone of eternal darkness. So something pretty cool is that Anthony now has all the information contained within the Tome of Eternal Darkness that we have seen thus far. He knows about Pius becoming the Lich, and he knows about Elia possessing the heart of Mantarok. And that's great. And later on, when one character learns a skill, the book is used to transfer those skills. Characters will learn about magic that other characters have learned. It's pretty clever. I think rattled. This urn has been glazed with a rich cobalt blue shellac instilling it with an otherworldly spectral character. It has a strange sigil on its side. While fumbling around, the urn slips from Anthony's stiff fingers, dashing itself into fragments as it hits the floor. And we have a magical rune, which apparently sounds like metal as it clanks around inside a vase. Runes are the key elements in creating spells. By collecting and combining runes in different ways, different spells can be created. Spells are magical incantations that enhance a character's natural abilities. This is something that will be explained a little bit later on, when we actually get the parts to make the spells. Like, we have one, but we need more than that. So yeah, no, I have a friend who works at a castle, and he's very big history buff. Pretty cool guy. A mysterious gold medallion rests upon the desk. Let's take it. Circles of power describe the amount of power that spell will have. The more points within that circle, the stronger the spell will be. I did not know that you worked at a castle, Empirical Woodland. I can believe it. The United Kingdom and the surrounding islands are full of castles. Can't move for castles. Amongst the tomes and manuscripts, a book brings attention to itself. Oddly pristine on the dusty shelf, it doesn't quite belong. Is this a rotating bookshelf? Close enough, I'll take it. I do love a good bookcase hidden passage. Love it. Oh, it's a ladder. That's why I can't go down. Thought it was a staircase. Good job, Andy. So this is a pretty clever way of doing, distributing magical abilities. This guy has a rune in his body, and now it's ours. However, we can't actually use it because we don't know what it is. I believe if we go to the magic menu, it just says, you have a rune. Oh, hi! Missed you. Also, check out this cool finishing move. That guy is way too cool to be doing that against, like, the forces of the darkness. This is a pretty cool trick, actually, and I think you can only do it, like, here. But as we've just seen in the little video there, because these guys are particularly dry zombies, you just hit them with a torch, and they fall to the floor and burn. There's no finishing move with the torch either. I think they just fall down and burn. Grateful for his life, the monk tells Anthony what has happened. He was carrying a sacred urn from the baptismal font when he was confronted by the bishop, who was brandishing a large blade and whose eyes burned with an evil fire. Frightened, the monk dropped the urn out of shock and ran. Returning to retrieve the urn, he found only the sword the bishop had left behind. With thanks, he gives the bishop's sword to Anthony. And now we have a two-edged sword. Although I believe the short sword that we have... Oh, piece of a broken green urn. I forgot that that was a thing we had to do. I'm glad that we did that. Oh, because it tutorializes this. Alright. Mix allows the player to combine items. So now we have 2/3 of a broken green urn, which I guess means there's another piece around here somewhere. Is it you? Yes, it is. There we go, a broken green urn. Splendid. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, this guy... A carved stone tablet lies on the stone floor. Don't use the same word twice in a sentence if you can help it, writers. Anthony has acquired a magical codex. So, if we find this rune, we know what it is. That's the game explaining that. And we have actually seen that rune literally just now. There you go. Will the game tutorialize this for us? No, it won't. Allow me. So this one, you can see it's flashing yellow, whereas these two aren't. We don't know what these are yet. This one we do. This one is item. So presumably when we get spells, we can do something with items. I really like the magic system in this game. It's not as expansive as the devs promised it would be, but I do like it. Now, I do believe... Yeah, because the blue zombie is... I think the game describes them as being damp. But because they are not a desiccated zombie like these purple ones, the black ones, we can't actually set them on fire. A filled red urn sits on the side, so let's grab that. I think this statue has the phrase that has stuck with me from this game. This codex is for Chaturga. That doesn't have any magical properties attached to it. What could that one possibly be for? I'm kidding. We know what that one's for. If we have been paying attention to the game world. Or if you played the game many times like I have. Can we maybe learn a second note, fellas? I'm down for the Gregorian chanting, but like, I don't know. Would it be Gregorian chanting if we are in France? I'm gonna say no. So this one is... I believe it says protect. It could be project. Oh, actually, I'm going to show you something cool. I'm just going to go off script a little bit. Make a new spell with Chaturga. Oh, project. It is project. Project item. We have discovered spell 1. And that's a pretty cool failsafe, because this right here is the enchant item spell scroll, which teaches us that if you want to... Just let me scroll through these guys. So, a torn scroll illustrated with a geometric symbol. It is accompanied by a small note. The note reads, "That which is broken shall be fixed. That which is dull shall be sharp. Thus is the nature of the enchant item magic. This spell requires Antobok and Magormor runes." Oh, the game's just going to talk us through it. Okay, so we select the spell. We use this alignment, because it's the only one that we have. And let's... It's going to want us to throw it on a quick spell slot. So let's just put it on that one. I don't know. And this unlocks the blue gauge, which is our magical energy. And as you move, as it says there, as you move around, the gauge will get higher. Using magic will lower it. So we can enchant you. Which will repair the green urn. And so this is what the guard was doing in the tomb in the previous chapter. And it's also kind of what the necklace was doing when it healed Elia. It was casting a simple spell. It mentioned that Elia should not move while the necklace is active, and here's why. We just lost that magic, but the spell has not completed. And that can be a problem if you're trying to cast magic in like an offensive manner, but the enemies keep hitting you out of your animation. Also, somebody in chat has redeemed a compliment, so let's do that. And the person is Criddle, my wife. And, oh, do you know what it was? I came up with a really good compliment for you in the last stream, and I said you had to buy it, and now you haven't, I've forgotten it. But it's very easy to compliment you, so we have another one. And that is, I really like that you take words and phrases that I use and implement them in your own life. When you started telling me to sleep sweet, that is just, yes. I really, really like that. And I'm glad that you do that. A disturbing rendition of a monstrous devil. It is contorted into what appears to be a fountain. It is a fountain. It's acting like a fountain. Look at it. What sickly liquid is this draining into the pool, trickling from a scum-encrusted spout? Probably water. Oh, I forgot about that idle animation. How's that? Anthony just stabs himself. Doesn't feel a thing because he's turning into a zombie, apparently. Dunking the urn into the foul-smelling fountain, it becomes filled to the brim with rank fluid. It is a lot heavier now, and rife with feta. Let's also dunk the green one. I also appear to have read ahead in the script a little bit. I hope you guys don't mind. I'll show you why. Because we come to this right here. And this little platform on the floor. If we step on it, it activates another cool slidey bookcase. But we can't go through it. Which raises the question of how that other shadowy figure did, but never mind. Although the urn appears to sit correctly in place on the pressure plate, it does not appear to be heavy enough to depress it. This is why we need to fill up the urns. If we just put the vases down, it will say, hey, these things need to be a lot heavier than this. So we go fill them up with water, and that's enough to hold down the platform. And through we go. Did I examine this? I didn't. Covered with arcane artifacts and texts, this table reflects the unholy presence within the church, a seething pit of iniquity and evil. One might say a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Anyway. I do like it. It's something that I do as well. Like I pick up accents as well. Accents and words and phrases from my friends and the people around me.
You have come to return my book. Very well then. For your efforts, I promise a quick and merciful death.
I was going for the finishing move. I wasn't expecting to, like, steal his key. Also, apparently, you do not get locked into a finishing move animation. Oh, well. But yeah, I pick up words and phrases from my friends a lot. It's one of the reasons why my accent wanders around. It's one of the reasons why I believe on stream I have spoken both Ope and Y'all. These are from various friends around various parts of the United States. It's where I get the joke speen. I've mentioned that's not one of mine, but it's always funny and I'll always do it. A shrine to a god that bespeaks of an ancient evil that graced the earth before mankind walked its valleys. I wonder. No, I can't use that. Alright. No, Y'all was not from you. Y'all is most likely from Beep Salt. They're a pretty cool person. I chat with them a lot. Watch a lot of their videos and streams, and that's kind of their stock thing when something unbelievable happens, like, y'all. 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 So that's likely where I got that from. No, don't read the book. Do the finishing move. There you go. Get that health back. Did I say health? I meant sanity. I meant to do that. Oh, it's the... I remember these guys as well. These guys are the worst. Can I creep past this thing? I bet I can't. Can I attack this thing? No, I can't. Oh, well. The Lady Luna Phoenix, hello. It is indeed time for horror games. On Mondays, we play horror games. And I'm doing this one. Starting this one today, because I love this one. The Trapper Dimension sprawls in every direction. Whilst in this place, magic cannot be cast, and humans are subjected to odd phenomena. The portals cycle from colour to colour as time progresses, and only the quick will escape. So actually, this is kind of a useful thing, because... hang on, let's check. I'm gonna go for green. Green. So, when you step into the teleporter, it takes you to the corresponding colour. And... there is a monster there. That's fine. We can deal with that. I should probably equip the good sword, now that I'm here. But, you know. There we go. So, as you get teleported to one of these platforms, there is always a healing fountain. And with the sound of 1,000 whispered lies, apparently, our sanity gauge is refilled. And we can step into the purple and make our escape. Like, getting sent here is supposed to be a punishment, but occasionally in the game you'll find it incredibly useful to just like, oh hey, free healing. Trappers have no eyes, but can sense sound very well. If Anthony can sneak past them, they won't be trouble. Which is the game's way of saying, hey, tilt the analog stick. We built this technology into the GameCube controller. You can tell when they see you because they start making that, like, tweeting sound. And then they'll start glowing. And that's your last warning. And after that, they'll just start coming for you. One advantage, though, is that they do die when they use that spell. So they send you to the other world, and then you're safe. Oh, actually, let's show this off. Something else you can do with the enchant item spell you can enchant your items. So now this weapon will have red aligned attacks. This means it will be strong against green zombies and weak against blue ones. And this... I thought you were some sort of statue. This is useful because, A, lighting the way. Check it out. It's like a quake over here. But it also means that when you learn the alignments and how they work, which we've seen a few times here and there around the map, you can give yourself an advantage with the type advantage, kind of like Pokemon in a way. Which, incidentally, Pokemon is kind of how I remembered the alignments and how they work in this game. Red is strong against green because red is fire and that burns grass. Green is strong against blue because grass absorbs water. Water extinguishes fire, and so it goes on. There is actually an explanation to it, and... let's go with that one. There is an explanation behind it, and we'll get to that as we learn a little bit more about the enemies in the game. iGamer Katie, hello. Please come in, have a seat. Because we're doing September, we've got some subscription incentives, and because of that, somebody has donated you a subscription. Please enjoy your neat little penguin badge and your emotes. You can feel the emotion of bread. Oh, I'm gonna do that. There you go, emotion of bread. Which doesn't appear to have sent. Oh, Twitch, please. There you go. Bread. Melon bread specifically. I make that. I make that frequently. It's one of my favorite things to make. Do you know what, Empirical Woodland? You're right. It is a good time to save. I'm going to clear out this room. And actually, no, I'm not. Because... maybe I'll save. Maybe let's equip this. Maybe let's equip the torch, because that's an instant kill. And we can't save because there's enemies right here. That's fine. They go down at a single hit to this weapon. It's great. It's fine. And we have the bishop's key, so we can go through this door, and literally nothing bad will happen. Oh, come on, game. I have the key. There you go.
Fool for trying to save him, Anthony. His fate was decided many centuries ago.
That cutscene is amazing.
The fate of this world.
Everyone else just kind of stands around like...
Your faith. There is little to save you from the power of Ulya.
That was a pretty dramatic entrance, my dude, and nothing happened. Also, yes, Criddle, thank you very much. Currently hydrating. Today it is cream soda, because Mum bought it for me, because I like it. Delicious. Now I'm going to save. There you go. Now. Come in. You may have noticed in our inventory that we have a second key. This guy over here, the second floor key. So let's go do that. Right, for me, cream soda is one of those drinks that I associate almost exclusively with chip shops. It's very rare that you'll see it anywhere else, but you go to a chippy, and it... yes, hello? And it's behind the door, and you... fish and chips, and cream soda. The key comes apart in the lock. The key to the second floor is broken. Perhaps there is a way of repairing it. Well, wouldn't you know it, there is. We literally just learned the enchant item spell. And now we have a repaired second floor key. So let's go through. And let's explore the second floor. To be honest, Empirical Woodland, I imagine it could just be a northern thing. But yeah, no, that's my association with that. One of the drawers in the dresser curiously has no keyhole. In its place, a small triangular design flanked by a magical symbol. We have seen this before. We can't do that yet. That... pick up? Oh my god, I thought that was a Silent Hill 2 Take a Shot reference. I thought it was like, look at the state of that toilet. I thought it was like, reach into it, mate. Get out a code for the locker. This is a page from Maximilian Roivus's journal. It reads, "Everything that brightened my life now engulfed me in darkness. I fed on the light of truth, yet starved on the shadows of lies. I have learned through my lifetime, but no less than a newborn baby." Hey chat. Hey chat, do you know about this bathtub? I'm gonna examine this bathtub. Somebody complaining about that item interaction is what led me to this game. I didn't know about Eternal Darkness until somebody went, "Let me tell you about that damn bathtub scare." I'm like, well, now I have to. Now I have to try this game. You also can't recreate it. It's just like one and done. What flag is that? Do we just have like... American viewers, is there a version of your flag that is just stars? Because I'm fairly sure at the very least you have stripes on your flag, right? I'm not an American. Ooh. No, that bathtub scare is great. So initially I was going to do a let's play of this on YouTube, segmented per chapter, right? And it is too dark in here to do anything. Perhaps the circuit has been broken. Back out we go. And for that section, I was actually going to cut out the bathtub scare. And I was going to be like, no, I'm examining it. Nothing's happening. Why? I don't know. And then I was just going to cut it in later on in the game. Let's not go near that. I'm relatively confident I need to be up here because... Is it you? No. Like, we've got the dresser key. We had to come up here to... We had to use the spell we've just learned to get up here. So that means that there's got to be something in here that we've got to do. And, yeah, see, now that's what I thought. Always stars and stripes on the flag. So, like, why is that one just stars? What a confusing game. Oh! A chapter page has been hastily stashed behind the frame of the painting. The Gift of Forever. This is a cool one! I like this one. I like essentially all of this game.
Dreams.
This one's a cool one.
Modern psychology offers only unproven theories. Some see them as the meaningless tossing and turning of a brain settling into a restful sleep. Others see them as laden with symbols of our unconscious desires. To still others, dreams represent the upwelling of the archetypes, normally hidden deep within the recesses of the human collective unconscious. Of one thing I am certain. After a brush with the ancients, our dreams metamorphosize into nightmares.
I'm pretty sure nightmares just happen. I had, like, wild nightmares last night, let me tell you. I'm also pretty good at, like, remembering the things that I dream, possibly because I've been writing them down for so long, but...
I have
Yes.
implored you for years, yet you ignore all my advances. You dominate my dreams, and I can think of nothing else. I fear I desire you many 100 times more than you love me.
My life has become a waking dream, Karim. For weeks, I have dreamed of an ancient treasure, so precious that it changes all life around it. It must be mine, Karim. If you truly desire me, as you say, then you will find this for me. Bring this treasure to me, and I will be yours. Both of our dreams will come true.
I need nothing more than you. You have enthralled me to the point where I can think of nothing else. Promise, if I leave, you will not forget about me.
You need not worry. I desire nothing more than the treasure that you seek. Leave now, Karim, and I shall await you.
Thank you very much for redeeming the nothing. I hope you enjoy it. Deluxe nothing is also a pretty spiffy item. It's got the word deluxe in the title, that's how you know. I thought there was music in this stage. Maybe we find it as we go on. A man's corpse lies fallen. Wounds cover the exposed flesh of his body where his armor has failed. This is a reference to a chapter that you can't play because it was cut from the game. Oh, there's your music. So there was a Knight Templar character in this game. His name was Joseph Demolay, and he was playable in the E3 demo of this game in like 2000, I want to say. The official story is that Demolay was exclusively made for the E3 demo, but I don't believe that to be the case. I think he was intended as a character. Also, this is the same as before, so I'm not gonna read that out every time. But we are gonna get the Tome of Eternal Darkness. In doing so, this is going to wake up the monsters. Pretty sure you don't actually need to fight them. Just go. But Karim can now use magic. We can enchant various items because that's what Anthony had learned, and it's in the book, and now we have the book. Pretty clever, right? Good morning, monsters is a good way to speak to tiny child. I'll have to try that sometime. Karim, what are you doing, man? Stop these cool Prince of Persia combos. There we go. So yes, the character, Joseph Desmoulins, is... I'm pretty sure that is his model dead in the previous room. Just because they made it. And you might as well. They do actually use his model wholesale later on in the game, and we'll see it. And I will point it out. Because I'm a big fan of pointing out when game companies do stuff like that. There we go. Right. Moving on. I don't know how seriously to take that deluxe nothing comment. I enjoy hanging out, watching Bloodstained, figuring stuff out. It's a lot of fun. Especially since I have only recently played the game myself for the first time. And it's kind of cool to see people figuring out the same stuff that I'm working out, or had to work out, I should say. This barrier would stay there until we collected the rune from the zombie in the previous room. So, now that we have it, through we go. Ooh, actually, I'm so glad Karim looked at that. Let's grab that. We've cheered some bits. Thank you very much for a cheer. Some not like this bits. Either that zombie is planking, or I picked this up exactly as that guy started waking up. A statuette vaguely resembling a man stands atop a low pedestal. Yep, there he is. This is a rune with a name that we have heard before. Ulioth is the god that Pius is working for, would you believe? Probably, because you've been watching along, I hope. Also, a trick you'll see with the zombies, I tend to go for the head first, because you only lose sanity if they're looking at you, and if they can't look at you, they can't drain your sanity. Asterisk. Some zombies can, some have like the tricks, but it's usually a safe bet to go for the head. It's zombies, right? We know how they work at this point. It's not like The Walking Dead, a universe that can only exist if zombie fiction does not exist. Okay, so these platforms, you can kind of hear as we step on them, something is shuffling. Oh. If we use the statuettes, and we stand on this last one, we can summon the lift. Oh, do you know what else we can do? We've got these guys. We have chakrams, which are ranged weapons. And because these guys only have like 1 HP, and Karim is a dead shot, problem solved. The shrine has risen from the floor, exposing what appears to be a lifting mechanism. Should Karim use the device to descend, Yes. Any description? No, we're just gonna look at them. Okay. So yeah, as I say, the fact that there are like wounded and dead soldiers all over the place in Karim's chapter, this is a reference to, say, an unseen battle. A chapter that's not in the game anymore. Either in this game or in one of the proposed sequels, you would have found what happened to them. Sadly, no. A man lies dead, anointed in blood from the ravages of a Tulwar sword. The wounds, deep and numerous, seep fresh blood. Precise yet powerful, the results of a man's actions, not a monster's. Should Karim retrieve the Tulwar? Yes! You're thinking of a man with 2 knives. I gotta tell you, this is pretty amazing. But like, yeah, check it out. We got these cool, like, dialer combos. I love them. Oh, jeez. We saw one of those guys at the end of the previous chapter, you'll recall. Why am I coming down this way to taunt these guys? To make them wake up? I don't know. Let's keep going. I'm a little worried because I know that there is a missable thing in this chapter, and I don't remember where it is. I just know that I really, really want it. Okay, you hear how the music's taken a rather sinister turn? This is because we're out of sanity. And we kind of need to regain some, pretty sharpish. Because if we run out of sanity, before long we run out of health. So let's keep that going. Another dead man. Who were these men whose corpses littered the dungeon? Unwary soldiers who stumbled inside, or grave robbers looking to plunder it? A crumpled scroll lies under the dead man's curled fingers. Can I make that? I bet I can't make that. No, I can't make that, because that's going to be used for healing. I think what I need to do is go through that door. The missable thing. I don't know. We will find out. The main problem with taking down the heads is I guess the developers found out really early on how easy that was to do, which is why they've introduced the enemies are called bone thieves. The creepy blue and red things that just explode out of people. Because like yeah, you take down the enemy, but then gotta go again. There we go. This is fine. This is not fine. Can I... No, I can't. I thought I had the blue rune. Can I do this? And aim for the head with this guy. No, it appears I cannot. Okay, well. rush him down. Come on, we got this. We got this. Yeah. Leaving a room, like, resets the enemies, so he'd get all of his health back. But I wouldn't, necessarily. So, I'm glad that I was able to do that. Even though I got this guy, which is used for healing. There we go. And let's have another one. Self. I believe we can now make the next spell. This spell enables the transfer of magical power from the environment to the self. Restoration of the body, spirit, and mind is this spell's purpose. Requires Narakath and Santak. Oh, we don't. That one's going to be Narakath then. Oh well. We will get that shortly. It's alright, we've got the little healing talisman for now. We'll be fine. What do you... Oh no! Actually, this is fine. Come on. Like I say, the Trapper Dimension is meant to be punishment, but like... This is fine. Don't like the look of that red guy. But I'll tell you something fun, is green, if you go through that guy where it's red, basically you'll telefrag the monster and it will go away. Which is incredibly useful. Otherwise you can just skip through it like that, and away we go. Yeah, super useful. Like I say, used as a form of punishment in theory, but actually it's got its uses.
My dear Alex, I will always be at your side. There are times when insanity takes hold, and nothing seems right. During those times, I will help you. Fear not, for I will keep the darkness away.
This isn't really happening.
I'm reminded of, so one of the churches that my parents help out at, they were doing a nativity. And you know what happens in the nativity is when the angel comes down to the shepherds, and the angel says, "Fear not." And this one point they decided they weren't going to do that, because the angel always comes down, and the angel always says, "Fear not." This particular performance, the shepherds were there, and the angel character enters, and the shepherds go, "Irashaimase! Beep Salt is here with a party of 23. How's it going, everybody?" Hello to Big Scared and everyone else who's part of the team. I am CPC Gamer. On Mondays we play horror games. We're playing Eternal Darkness. It's one of the better ones. And doing good. Can't stay since I have somewhere to go. Absolutely fine. Thank you for the raid. Please enjoy the rest of your day. I will catch up with you soon. And yes, everyone else, please do come in and say hi. We have a niche on the wall. We have your magical codex, which is Absorb. That's what that one says. And now we can do the recover spell. Absorb self. There we go. So, yes, story time. the angel comes down, and the shepherds go like, "Oh no, look, it's an angel," and so the angel goes, "Fear not," and then goes into the into the rest of it. Completely forgot how I got onto this topic, but there we go. Quick spell. How do I assign a quick spell again? Absorb. Self. There we go. So I now believe if I just do a bit of that, I can just heal myself. This is another reason why this game is a slightly easier version compared to the other two Elder Gods. Because we got the heal health spell first. It is entirely possible that you can get the heal sanity and heal magic spell, which is completely useless. Because the magic that you use to cast the spell is also the magic that you recover from having used it. So, it sure is a cool thing you can do. A large Ramdao broadsword protrudes from a solid pedestal made of stone. It awaits its next owner. Let's pull the sword from the stone, and now we're the Prince of Persia. Let's go. I love those games. Not you, Warrior Within. So this is the cool sword. This is the one you want. I believe this is also like the cannon weapon. Although, I say that. I've got a torch. I could just wade in and do crowd control. Yeah, the Ramdao is the sword you want. It is the... I'm being stone-locked. Get out! It's the cannon sword for Karim. It's what he has shown in all of his like press materials and that. It's also the name of the current music. The music in Karim's chapter is called Ramdao, and it's pretty good. I like to think that maybe using that sword would have done me better than trying to be cool and burning everybody, but you know. Hindsight's 20/20. That's what they say. Well, let's find out with Wave 2. Actually, this is fine. And, doing it this way, we get some sanity back. Is it going to be a third phase? There's always a third phase, right? Yes, there is. These ones are slightly stronger, though. Like, you've noticed a theme in the zombies we've been fighting. The black and purple ones aren't super great. These guys take a massive hit to your magic because they're the blue ones. If we had chosen the green alignment, we would be fighting a lot more of the big bandaged zombies and taking bigger hits to sanity. And had we chosen red, we'd be fighting a lot more of the like big meaty looking ones and dying a lot. I really hope that lets me keep my healing spell. No, it doesn't. Well, let's do a bit of that. Now let's heal up. And now that we have the blue alignment rune, we can go and open that unlock the locked door that we found previously. Get used to a lot of that when you get grappled, by the way. It's me. You gotta frantically waggle the stick, and if you're familiar with Smash at all, it sounds like a crab battle, because that's just how the GameCube controller does. It's pretty great. If you're playing Smash and it doesn't sound like angry crabs, you're not playing Smash right. Alright, there we go. So, let's test out my hypothesis. Let's go back to that locked door and try and open it up. Because, well, yeah, we can't go this way. This is, this doorway is blocked. Which is how the game stops us from going the same way that Pius did in his chapter. Okay, so if we enchant an item with blue on the Ramdao, it's pretty cool how every Elder God has their own voice for spellcasting. Big fan of that. A metallic plaque replaces the lock. A coloured sigil is engraved in the metal above the wide slot. The slot appears to be wide enough to insert a large blade. How do I do it? Do I use this? Yes, I do. Now, what I'm going to do... I'm going to save. Because I don't know where the ending is. And I really want to get this thing. That's fine. We'll be fine. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. We're missing an arm. We'll be fine. Maybe if I go get my head... Oh, maybe not. Maybe we just die. Did I mention this game has sanity effects? This is one of the better examples of sanity effects in games, I think, because it's got some really, really good ones. But yeah, that was one. Enter a room and just slowly explode. Oh, that's something else that's pretty cool as well. When you enchant your weapon, they make different sounds. So, hang on a second. I'm just going to cut my own audio for a second. Take a listen. This little thunder strike every time you swing the sword if it's enchanted blue. That's great. Oh, now this is it. This is the place where I need to be. Okay. I think I need to sneak down there because that trap is getting real angry at me. Can I pick those up again? No, I can't. I thought I saw a little chakram on the shelf over here. This little lip. Apparently not. Yeah, this is what we need to get. A ruby effigy stands upon the pedestal centered in the room. Not immediately apparent what we need that for, but soon it will be. Also, let's equip the torch so we can see what we're doing. Along the length of the corridor, the ceiling has given way and collapsed, littering the floor with debris. Should we climb over the rubble? Yes. Let's do one of those real quick. Right. Do you remember the hassle we had the first time we fought one of these guys? See how much easier this is now that we have a blue enchanted blade? Still not enough to, like, recover a significant portion of sanity, but, you know, we got there. A blasphemous sculpture made from human skin and bone. A trestle of bones is cradled within this shrine, like a nightmarish bookstand, beckoning to be used. That looks like a graphic from the Seventh Guest. Look at that. The way forward is blocked by a wrought iron portcullis. There appears to be no visible lock, but there has to be a way of opening it. Yeah, I think we have to give up the book. Although we can still use magic, weirdly. Oh, because we just pick it up again. Okay, well, there you go. I had thought it would be a case of, like, you give up the book, and now you just can't have it anymore. This is fine. We can take a few, like, physical hits, because we've... Yeah, we need the sanity. We can take a few hits, because we can recover that. Well, we can recover health with magic, but not sanity. Yet. To be honest with you, Empirical Woodland, it just makes me think of Return the Slab. What do you got? Return the slab. Are they just... Are they... Okay, I was gonna say, they stun-locked each other. No, they haven't. This is fine. Using a blue enchanted weapon is probably not fine. Hang on a second. That's fine! That's fine! We were able to heal before that thing got to us. It's fine. And now we are able to recover enough sanity that we're not just constantly draining health from these guys. It is kind of unfortunate we're not able to do green align spells right now, because... Game. How rude. Because green align spells would take out that guy pretty handily. Although, to be fair, that one lucky strike was enough. I'll take that. And because Pius took the blue one, the red one will now appear. A strange sculpture resembling a red-clawed worm mysteriously floats above the pedestal. Let's claim it. Presumably that's going to be what the princess wanted.
We will be together forever.
Chandra? What happened to you?
Things change, my dear Kareem. But even though my body is ravaged, I await you.
Who did this to you?
You were gone so long. I gave myself to a nobleman with a jealous mistress. She had me dragged from my bed, and in cruel revenge, flensed with knives. As the last blades were drawn across my body, and my blood cooled upon the floor. She cursed that I would only be with another in death.
So much for thinking only of me. I should never have left.
I have seen my folly, and have already paid dearly. I see so much more now. In death, I know the true value of the artifact which I asked you to find. And it is not for us to possess. If we are to be together again, you must make a sacrifice. Only when that is complete will we be together.
Sacrifice? Why should I do anything for you? You lied to me. Betrayed me. And you really don't look so good anymore.
You must forget the past. Despite who you are now, you will also become something more, just as I have. But the sacrifice must be made. We must remain here and guard the artifact. Dark things will come to claim it, and you must be strong to keep it from them. Without your sacrifice, the world will fall into eternal darkness.
She said it again, guys.
The things I do for love.
It has been pointed out by myself and others, Kareem makes a very good point. She led him on pretty hard into, hey, maybe I'll do the thing if you get me the thing, eh? She was just leading him on the whole time, and that's not cool. And I don't really... Oh, well, there you go. That's the end of this game. I hope you enjoyed it. Please join us next time for the sequel.
This can't be happening.
I'm lying. That's a sanity effect. Oh, do you know what? In the Let's Play I had recorded, I actually did cut to the credits then. And I did my usual, like, credits spiel. Like, oh, yeah, do you know what? It's a pretty good game. Kind of short. Don't know why. Alright, what do we do next? I think I know what we do next. I remember the music that I used as well was, it was a version of My Lover from Shinobi. Because that's a really good piece of music. I think the next thing we need to do is actually in the kitchen. Maybe you just need to answer the telephone. Hello?
Hello?
Remember me, Alex?
This isn't really happening.
Yeah, here we go. A wooden plaque is fastened to the door, taking the place of the lock. A coloured sigil is carved into the wood above a wide slot. The slot is just wide enough to insert a narrow blade. And spells are over here. Pretty clever, actually. It's used as a way of, I don't want to say gatekeeping, because that sounds fairly negative with modern sensibilities, but like making sure that you've got everything that you need in order to progress the story. Like, you can't just come in here without having found the sword, and you need the enchant item spell from the previous chapter. Pretty clever. Among the pantry contents is a spice jar with a scrap of paper hidden inside. Firmly sealed spice jar. The faint aroma of Arabian spices is tantalizingly emanating from it. There is a piece of paper inside it. Oh, chat. This is my favorite chapter. You best believe we're going to finish with that one. Anything?
My liege.
There we go.
The future is yours. The light in the age of darkness has been extinguished. The pillar of flesh has been constructed. The master of chaos, the keeper of the ancients, is long dead. The planets will be in alignment soon. All is prepared for your arrival. I will begin the final incantation that will bring you into our world within days. The next millennium will truly usher in a new age. Your guardians, now prepare the gate.
Do you remember when the millennium was just going to be the end of the world? I do. Anyway, the Lurking Horror, and isn't that a familiar name for readers of horror? I'm going to actually take Empirical Woodland's advice, and I'm going to save, because I didn't for a while. There we go, the Lurking Horror, let's go!
I will not argue that I was shocked by the sudden mention of one of my ancestors, the distinguished Dr. Maximilian Roivas. It chilled me to my bones.
We found a note from him slightly earlier on in the game.
Come from?
He was in the bathroom,
How had
remember?
my ancestor stumbled upon it? I feverishly began to read more, eager to learn his story. It seems that Maximilian had inherited his father's mansion, just as I had. Alone since the death of his wife, and since his children had their own adult lives, he explored the house to discover his family roots.
It has been 2 weeks since the death of my father, and it has finally come to me to look over the mansion. Now, I am truly alone, and forced to start a new life here in Rhode Island. I intend to make the mansion mine, and live in it as my forefathers have, to continue the family tradition. The mansion has its secrets, I'm sure, and in my time here, I have to make them mine.
Some flintlock pistol ammunition. Amazing. A desk cluttered with notes and writs, mostly business to do with the Roivas estate. So, the title of this chapter, The Lurking Horror, is actually that of a story by H.P. Lovecraft. And do I have any weapons? Oh, I do. I was going to equip that for no reason. And actually, this chapter is based on one of my favorite Lovecraft stories, that being The Rats in the Walls. Not The Lurking Horror. I don't know why they didn't call it that. Also, this is the best piece of music on the soundtrack. This is called Black Rose. Ugh, beautiful. Yeah, no, I've just got a magical codex in the kitchen. It's fine. Don't you? I use it as a chopping board. I bet you Turk would really appreciate stuff being cut up on his codex. I don't know. A pump handle is sitting on a barrel inside the pantry. What is it doing here? Well, it's glowing, so I'm going to pick it up. Let's go. Whilst going about her duties, the servant casually remarks about a strange quality hanging in the air. The odd comment makes Maximilian feel something is quite amiss. Why would she say that? Cozy fireplace is the focal point of the kitchen, lending a good deal of warmth to the austere room at night. That is some GeoCities fire. Look at that. Now, I believe we use the pump handle in the basement, which is over here. Or is it? The wall is decorated with a coloured triangular design. Although Max has seen this particular embellishment time and time again, its significance still evades him. Also, if we check out this picture, an oil painting of the mansion's foyer hangs on the wall. Max wonders why the artist would paint an inaccurate picture of one end of the room with such detail and clarity that it approaches realism. Why has the artist painted a door here? Weird. This illustration features a collection of strange, lined designs, related to each other in a cyclical manner. There appears to be some significance to it, but it isn't particularly evident. That one I will explain when we actually come to solve this puzzle. Because there is significance behind it, and we'll get to it. Actually, do I need to go this way? Gosh, this character's really slow. That's kind of his thing. In addition to each character having different stats in terms of like health and sanity and so on, they also have different speeds. There is something written beneath the image. When darkness spreads its wings before my master Ulioth's greatest foe, the path to truth will be opened. Well, let's go over here. So the way it works is, I'll explain it now. Ulioth is magic and wisdom. Mantarok is chaos and death. Chattur'gha is strength and health. And Xel'lotath is madness and insanity. And the way that the alignment system works is, blue is strong against red. Brains over brawn. You're always going to be able to outthink, you know, the meathead who just charges straight at you. Because Chattur'gha is mindless, he is strong against the Mistress of Insanity. She can't use tricks on him because there's no mind there to trick. In turn, Sanity has a really great effect against Wisdom because Ulioth is all brains, so he's very susceptible to being tricked and driven insane. So that's how that works. And then there's Mantarok, who doesn't count because he's not part of this trio. He's just the corpse god in a tomb somewhere. So let's enter the secret passage, how about? Let's collect you. Reveal invisible. And an ornamental saber, which is something we are immediately going to equip, because the flintlock pistol's great. It's like our first firearm, but it's also a flintlock, and it takes like 10 seconds to reload it. Not what you want. So something I think is pretty cool about this chapter is we don't have to go to, like, the Hell Dimension to collect the Tome of Eternal Darkness. It's just here in the Hidden Study. But we still get the Mind Flash thing as we go through everything that has happened in the game thus far. As Max lifts the Tome of Eternal Darkness, a letter slips out from between the pages. Deftly, Max catches it as it drops towards the floor. A letter scrawled almost indecipherably by a wavering hand. Dear friend, as I suspected, the ruins of En-Gar, that blasted necropolis, lie deep under the site of the mansion. The accursed servants of Ulioth are so close I can almost hear their chittering. There is a secret opening in the basement, and from there we can gain access. I urge you to gather some men and seal it, or better still, destroy the damn place. I have stowed something that you will find useful on the upper level. Look to the light, and you will find it. I wish that I could be at your side, but my ailment worsens daily, And I know that my time is short. A.R. This is an otherwise unmentioned and unseen member of the Roivas family. Dual flintlocks are also not much better, I gotta be honest with you. This is an otherwise unseen member of the Roivas family who would have been elaborated upon in the extended game, but it wasn't. So I mentioned this was based on a Lovecraft story that I really, really like. It is, yeah, The Rats in the Walls, wherein a person finds that slowly the members of his staff have been replaced, at least he believes, with monsters and minions, and he comes to find the ruins of a hideous civilization beneath his house. It's great. It's a good read. Gonna throw out a content warning because of language. There's a particularly racially motivated word that shows up in there quite a lot because it's Lovecraft. Of course it does. But otherwise, a very good story. The Atlanta Radio Theatre Company did a good production of it with Harlan Ellison. And they removed all that stuff. So check it out. Pick up? Ooh, pick up. Give me some ammunition. I might need it. I don't know. Was I about to attack you? No, I wasn't. What are you? Area. And now we can reveal invisible. Excellent. So I have some notes written down, because it is fairly well known that H.P. Lovecraft was kind of a racist. And yes? The mirror's grim reflection returns Max's questioning gaze. His face racked with sleepless nights, and a strange gleam in his eye hint at a growingly odd demeanor. Well, here's the thing, right? Lovecraft grew up in the... was he born in the 1890s? And he wrote in the 1920s? And nobody in the 1800s had attitudes on race that align with our own. At least the modern day ones. But even for the time, Lovecraft was particularly racist. Frank West Reanimator has an African-American boxer who is genuinely described as a chimp. And he's walking on his knuckles, as they do. And, like, come on, man, not even... That's out there for even the people around you in the 1910s. It did wane a little bit as he got older. He got married. He married a Jewish woman, which he considered to be a remarkably progressive move. Something's snarling. Are you going to attack me? Yes, you are. And because his wife had to travel around a lot, he traveled with her. And he found out that those people over there, actually they're human. And they're a lot like you and I. And he didn't stop being racist towards the end of his life. He just toned it down a bit. Ooh. Max spies an envelope that has fallen behind the pedestal. Fallen, perhaps, or been hidden there. Despite his excitement at this discovery, Max senses something odd about it. A sense of evil. Let's retrieve that. Hi! You were waiting there for that cool entry moment. It paid off. Get out of here. Empirical Woodland also makes a good point. Lovecraft was a very vocal opponent of interracial marriage. That is essentially the message behind the Shadow over Innsmouth. The door to the servants' quarters is securely locked. Maximilian, however, can't help but feel uneasy. An ominous presence lurks behind that door, making the hairs on his neck stand on end. But yes, the shadow over Innsmouth is a story which Innsmouth has some terrible secret, and that is that they've been doing that interracial marriage and now everyone is fish people. Like, really? Come on. A paper envelope sealed with a glob of melted wax. An odd rune is pressed into the wax. There appears to be something heavy inside. Oh, that's a very sinister sting. I like that. Inside the envelope is a letter addressed to one of Max's father's aides. And a basement key. Letter number 4. Dear friend, as I expected, the beasts are drawing closer to our discovery. They want the book for themselves, it seems, and do not want us to have it in our possession. I have taken steps to ensure that their ilk will not touch the key in this envelope, should you fall prey to their claws. The envelope containing the basement key has been sealed with corrosive magic. If one not aligned to us tries to handle it, it will be released, inflicting pain, suffering, and a grievous blow to their sanity, should they have any left. Be swift with your task. A.R. Big Scared. Yes. He wasn't a fan. One of his stories... Hi? One of his stories notes on Arthur, Jeremy, and his family. The central character, Arthur Jeremy, finds that he has African ancestry and sets himself on fire because that's better than carrying this knowledge. We get it, Lovecraft. You're a big old racist. Like, come on! On the other hand, we got the green rune, which I am immediately going to assign to a spell. Right, hang on. Not you. Recover. Assign that. Recover that to that. Bang! Let's get some sanity back. Crowley9 mentions a point that I didn't. Roivas is savior backwards. It's a pretty cool touch. I like it. Right. Reveal invisible with... I'm going to say green, because we just got it. And that's the enemy of our... The enemy of our enemy, which is therefore our friend. Revealing a door. And we can use the key and go through. See, it's one of those things where, like, to go back to my previous point, I'm gonna run away. Crowley, I'm gonna get to that line if you give me just 1 second. Or Empirical Woodland, you can if you're here. Let's see. Do we talk about that one? Hang on. All right, let me check that. Yes, thank you very much, Empirical Woodland, for passing that one through. Thank you very much. I'll allow it here because it's in context. But yeah, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, this goes to my point. Like, given when he grew up and where he grew up, certainly explains a lot of Lovecraft's attitudes towards race. Doesn't excuse them though. And that's the important distinction to draw. Here is why he thought that. It was wrong then, it's just as wrong now. Ooh, hello. Damage field. A spell that I'm probably going to use once. And I will tell you for why. Can I cast it now? Spell list. Damage field. This incantation exerts force of magical power within the confines of its runes. Nothing may enter till it is dispelled. Oh, that's not the one I'm thinking then. It requires Bankorok and Red Gomor. Man, what am I thinking of? Who knows? Anyway, let's...
This can't be happening!
Let's remain trapped in a padded cell, which is surely indicative of nothing. I know why they do that with sports games, and do you know what? I'm down. Please, let's not even accidentally use terms like this. This is a remarkable JPEG. But hey, check it out. Max is incredulous at the sight, a desolate ruin of a fantastic city, built into a huge, naturally formed cave. Jutting spires and looming buildings poke through the dense fog. Light ebbs through the city, crackling in the wake of the energy spilling from a light source, held aloft by unseen forces. It's only a model. It's not even a model. Like I say, this game was made... This game was made for the N64. It's a blurry JPEG propped up in the background. That's all you're gonna get. Come on now. Anyway, let's continue down into the darkness. Perhaps eternal darkness, one might say. And find what we find. I have mixed up portions of this game. I'm like, surely this is the end of the chapter. No, we actually have to fight this guy. I'm thinking of something else that happens a bit later on. So, let's do one of those on. Let's pull out my gun! So before I finish up, actually, let me... Garbage! I interrupted you doing that, friend. You shouldn't be able to have done that. I'm going to show off something that is unique to Max Roivas. Which is... Maybe I'll do it when we're back in the mansion. I didn't expect it to go down like that.
The accursed beast was dead, but not without its toll on me. That was but one, and there was an entire city of them. I could not hope to fight them all alone. I knew I had to get help.
And we never will, Crowley 9.
There was a way. I
Never, ever.
I tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen to me. Damn them. Damn their eyes. They didn't believe me. Strange creatures. The world in peril from unseen foes. The darkness.
instead they jeered and threw me into this forsaken place. A place of empty souls and fevered thoughts, reeking of fetor and decay, thinking me mad with delirium. The fools cast away their hopes of salvation, but locking me in this damned asylum. May the rats eat your eyes! I am now lost to your cause! The darkness comes! It will damn us all!
This is essentially how The Rats in the Walls ends as well. The narrator finds that there is a damned city beneath his mansion, decides to try and gather help, and everyone's like, nah. Clearly you are insane. There is nothing down there. And he's locked away. So, Max's thing is that he is a doctor. And he has the ability to autopsy enemies that he has killed. So, for example, let's take a look at the Manta Rock zombie.
Corpses, lumbering, rotting cadavers. What contrivance could have wrought this abomination? Disease, science, blasphemous occult rituals. How can something so dead, yet be so alive and hungry? They lust for flesh, human flesh, and feast upon all the sweet breads a man has to offer.
And Crowley9 makes a good point as well. If you want to fill up the enemy list, you gotta play through this game 3 times and autopsy everything you find. This is like the chore of the game. No bonus for it, it's just something you can do. What I am going to do, however, we're at a good stopping point because we are about halfway through the game, I believe. And we're going to come back to it next time. How's that? So I'm going to go over here to my ending screen. And I'm going to say thank you very much to everybody who visited and watched along. Thank you very much to everybody who lurked. Thank you to everyone who wrote in with Beef Salt. I hope you had a good time, perhaps watching somebody you may not have done yet. Please do stick around. Thank you to everybody who gifted subs, because we are at 14 now. So we've got the first 2 tiers of whatever I said I was going to do unlocked. We've got a new emote coming up. If anyone has suggestions, do let me know. And we will get back to... what are we doing? Tomorrow's my day off. And then Wednesday, Thursday, we go back to Breath of Fire. I've got some cool stuff to show off in that game. And I will do that then. Who is currently streaming? Who are we going to raid? One person is streaming Eternal Darkness, and it's me. Does anybody have any suggestions and recommendations for whomst we should raid currently? I'm gonna go check. Oh, actually, I'm gonna go to Skelly, because they went live not too long ago. Let's go check out what Skelly's doing. There for a second as I tried to type. They are playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, so let's go say hello to Skelly. It's also Skelly's birthday. Alright, let's go say hello to Skelly on their birthday. There is your raid message. It is my title. It's getting longer and longer with every time I do something stupid. Raid that person. Alright, let's go. So yes, feel free to drop your message along there to Skelly. Say happy birthday. I will see you guys on the thing I said, Wednesday, Breath of Fire. And until next time, goodbye.